gameplay to find out. But let's take a look at the series layout here for their match against Shopify Rebellion.
It's going to be the same series layout that we saw a little bit earlier on when we started things off today. Argyle capture the flag, game number 1. Empyrean Slayer, game 2. Strongholds live fire, Opal Streets. And if we need it, of course, at the end there, you have Slayer Recharge hanging on for dear life if we do need to see that game 5. But I think it's only right that we focus on FaZe to start off with, right? The team change that's come in was one that shook everyone. It was one that was rumored for quite some time.
Yeah.
And if you look at the history of team changes that involve SnakeBite and Royal 2, there's something very, very interesting.
Yes.
They haven't got it wrong very often.
They have not. Let's not forget the last time that SnakeBite and Royal 2 dropped a teammate, it was Ogre 2. Now they've dropped Lethal, and now you can easily say that they've dropped what have been named the #1 and #2 Halo players of all time. And so far, it has worked out for them. The question is, will it work out this event? Will it work out this season? Their first test on the main stage will be Argyle CTF against Shopify Rebellion, currently 1-0 in pools as well.
And Shopify Rebellion looked pretty darn good earlier on as well. A very, very convincing series victory for them. The question is this the step up in level for them, and will they be able to match it? It's only right that we start off with a new addition to this FaZe roster. It's going to be Renegade.
That's right, Renegade unleashed on this roster. That's at least what he's hoping to be. So far on the qualifiers, he's done just that, and he gets a free ticket. Bottom middle, he's already on the flank here, sees the opponents through glass.
Yeah, what an opening strategy this is from Renegade as well. And it looks like he's not going to be sniffed out for now. He's trying to find the sniper rifle player in Mental. Gets the repulse, gets the pancake, and takes him down. The flag is away though, and Renegade is last alive here for FaZe.
Yeah, this is interesting here. As you said, Renegade left on his own. The flank worked, but the rest of his teammates do go down. He steals the sniper, and he stays alive back base. RyaNoob knows he's there though.
RyaNoob knows he's a problem. SnakeBite picks up one on the flag carrier. Now RyaNoob's got a player behind him, has no idea that Frosty is there. And Renegade taking that attention away was the difference. And now look at this aggression coming in from Frosty. He's got a sniper rifle, couldn't care less. Flies in with the grapple.
Frosty steals that last grapple fight. Oh boy, he's gonna do it to as well. No! Karmea answers back. Great resilience from Karmea from the bottom base. He will stay alive and get the snipe ammo as well.
This man was absolutely ridiculous in the first series that we saw him today. And I tell you what, this man alongside Collect certainly a name to watch as this season rolls on. But Renegade opens the map up here for FaZe Clan. Double kill for him.
You saw in the match earlier just how much back and forth there is, how much jousting there is between the teams at the opening and even the mid-game of an Argyle CTF. A lot of control necessary before you go in for those flag pulls.
For now, it's going to be a bit of a mid-map battle, like you mentioned, as we are going to see many, many times. Karmea is trying to make a little bit of a flank here, should be dealt with, and now Royal 2 gets more information, and Royal 2 doing good damage, but again, a good push from Shopify Rebellion, making sure they're playing in those twos, and even though 2 of their teammates did fall, they pick up a little bit of an equalizer in the kill feed.
Absolutely. Now Rayne here, staying alive at screens. One thing you and I talked about a lot, Mark, as we watched the qualifiers and really all the matches we've seen on Argyle so far, this map really is a movement master's paradise. So many drop slides, curve. Ooh, one! Almost gets 2. Those kills will be traded out eventually in the vent, but really, you can master the movement tech on this map in an area like screens, an area like E1, E2. You can really catch opponents off guard. And speaking of, here's RyaNoob with his second camo of the game.
Second camo in a row for Shopify Rebellion, and an opportunity now for them to put some pressure onto the base of FaZe Clan. Frosty will fall, Karmea, again with that sniper rifle. Royal 2, no idea that RyaNoob is behind him. That's going to be 3 dead here for FaZe Clan, and almost more importantly, 2 sniper rifles now in their hands.
Absolutely. Looks like Frosty was last player alive back elbow. Spawn should be coming in. Yes, they will join him on elbow as well. RyaNoob is going to be aware because Mental's already back base.
Had the camo for just a second. It dissipates at just the wrong time for him. If he could have held down that angle, then all of FaZe would have been in trouble. RyaNoob just needs to hit a body shot here, and this might be an opportunity for a flag run, but FaZe keep that pressure on. But Mental is doing a great job in the back of the base here.
Karmea's on the push from screens as well. If they can trade out these kills on the back of the base, it might be a pull. SnakeBite with good shots in the back of the base. He will force RyaNoob down. So right now, Shopify, even though they had 3 players spawning elbow, not able to capitalize just yet.
Look at that angle from Frosty as well. Shooting from the elbow through that window. Mental gets one. Frosty finally finishes off the kill on RyaNoob, but more importantly, that means a power weapon down in the bottom of the base. Rayne's going to try and pick it up, but Frosty, making sure to prioritize these kills in his base, has to clear out his side. Now we can think about moving forward.
That's right. Frosty probably knew if he gave Rayne another second, he might have gotten turned on as well. So Frosty does very well to prioritize that kill as quick as he can. 3.5 minutes in, no flags on the board just yet. A lot of back and forth, as we said. Attempts to control, attempts to pull those flags have not come across just yet. These teams are going to need to look for even more convincing control before a flag goes home.
Once again, Frosty prioritizing the right kill. Knew he had a teammate behind him, didn't have to worry about that player behind him because his teammate made sure that that damage was done to keep him alive. And now Shopify Rebellion starting to fall 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and momentarily 3 dead. It should be 4 dead in a few moments' time if Frosty can take down Karmea in the back of the base. Pushes aggressively. Should be able to get the kill. Somehow stays alive for the killing spree as well. And now he's got his eyes trained on the Shopify Rebellion sniper rifle.
That was either a Karmea nade or a teammate nade that gave Frosty that kill after the repulsor. In the end, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care how it works. It just works out for him. And he stays alive bottom base. But once again, you cannot waste any time. However, all of that control does lead to a camo grab for SnakeBite and FaZe. Here he is on the elbow.
SnakeBite doesn't really have much support though. You can see he's just trying to get behind enemy lines here. Listen to the information that's being given to him by his teammates to make the play off the back of it. Now, he knows that Karmea's got a sniper rifle. If he can take him down quickly, then maybe there might be an opportunity for them to push. At the moment, he's still making defensive plays, trying to drag all of Rebellion back into their base. And now he looks for that flagpole, looks for the little G slide off the ramp, and that's the tech we're talking about.
That's exactly it. Nice little slide there. Needs to win this against Karmea. Knows that he can't leave him there. Gonna decide to run this and try to get to the E1 angle before the sniper comes back, and he's able to just break the line, and now gonna continue flag on over halfway home.
Look at this run from SnakeBite. It's
Beautiful.
brilliant. He is weaving through the kills that are being picked up by his teammates. SnakeBite, the objective mastermind of this team, puts FaZe up by 1. A beautiful run showing he had the perfect picture painted of exactly what was going on the map.
Absolutely beautiful run, and I gotta give you credit, Mark. You were saying that the flag runs, something that's gonna be so key is hitting those slides off of each to just speed the run up even faster. SnakeBite hits those perfectly. You heard them talking on the desk about what SnakeBite's role is on this squad. In the qualifiers, it was very heavily objective focused. However, a lot of that came down to his ping online as well. I got to talk to SnakeBite yesterday as a killing spree on your screen, by the way, for Frosty. Talking to SnakeBite about his role, and he said it's really going to come down to the first day. I'm going to feel it out with his team, and I'm going to understand exactly how much objective play I need to play. I think that was a pretty great example that he knows exactly what he needs to do in those situations. Renegade also heating up with a snipe.
Renegade's going to have so much fun with this weapon on this map. Some of the stats lines he's going to put up are going to be certainly ones to talk about in the future. For now, he's at 8 and 6, so a +2. Frosty leading the way, though, for the squad. 15 and 8 as he picks up another kill with a sniper rifle. But you just heard that camo being popped, and his SnakeBite has got it in his hands.
Great control here at this moment from the side of FaZe. 2 dead for Shopify Rebellion. Mental, by the way, was 11 and 4 earlier. He was leading the whole game. However, now Frosty just off that killing spree is 16 and 8, double positive after that move, and just absolutely popping off here. 5:30 left on the clock. FaZe still leading 1-0.
SnakeBite using that camo again, just to be annoying, just to be a nuisance. Dragging so much attention away from Rebellion. Allowing his teammates to get into power positions on the map, hold down some of these angles. And at the moment it's working for FaZe, but still just a 1-flag game. Plenty of time left for Shopify Rebellion in this game to turn things around. Now you're seeing the push start to come in. Power weapons taken out of the hands of FaZe, and Rebellion pushing past that 50-yard line, starting to put some pressure on the FaZe base.
I'm going at this map. I'm going to say 3 here on me, 3. There. I got 1 hit side kick, nice. Another one, shot, Shotty snipe. I'm pushing Shotty, let's push Shotty.
You're red?
He's weak
low. I should have him. Alright, so
You went low.
he's one.
Walk in the fly, bro.
Snails goes to me, Billy. He's one shot behind you, Brad.
I'll come, Brad,
Yeah, what's good there, Nice. Good kill. Huge.
Rain one hit there, bros. Rain one hit there, bros. Rain one hit.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I'm dead for my Shotty. I killed Rain. He's our Shotty going up. He's our Shotty ramp. Our Shotty ramp going to street. I'm gonna flank. You two work together on that.
Yeah, let's get these snipes.
Our back flank as well, bro.
Yeah, our back flank.
Our Shotty and our
Flank
flank.
the base.
Matt's got a good flank.
Yeah, bro.
Our back flank, Ryan. I'm on. Heads repulsor.
John, you what's supposed to be? Two. Yeah, on you. Nice.
Ryan over base.
Yo, camel snipe.
I'm getting it. I need to kill our base.
Okay, I hear you.
Jump.
There's side right now. There's side. You ran their flag. 1 shot. Sniping.
Are you done? Yeah, PJ is
I can't push this guy. He has repulsor our flag.
Yeah, that's fine. PJ, just keep him.
They're shotty.
I'm gonna play for him.
One to shotty.
Yeah, we have everything here.
I'm just playing for him.
You, man. Start walking right. This
Our press. I'm chasing.
PJ, he's going to you.
Snipe one there. Ryan one there. Snipe bro. You can rush him.
Yeah, there's 3 here.
I'm playing.
Sniping their back flag.
There's two about to be on map. They're playing the shotty side.
One's there's
Shotty. Get damage.
They're shotty sniping. Ryan dead. Another flying Brad front base.
You're sniping our fucking our man.
Brad.
One absolute shotty. On the ramp.
One more.
As we jump back into the game, the score stays the same. Rebellion getting that flag moving, but something you wanted to comment on for that listening is the comms of Renegade.
Yeah, comms of Renegade sound great. I think a lot of people might have wondered exactly how is Renegade going to fit in terms of communication, right? Sometimes he's a little bit of a quieter player that just lets the numbers do the talking. However, I loved what I heard during that listing. You could kind of hear there's a real energy and an urgency to the comms. However, still really calm and overall organized communication coming out of FaZe. Also, we got to say, great camo play from Frosty. There was a lot to play for there. He had a lot of incoming information during that listening and players that were weak around him. He slow plays it, gets the back on the flag carrier, and as a result of all that, they will still in the lead 1-0 with 2:30 left on the clock.
1-0, 1 bullet left here for Renegade and his sniper rifle as well. And I've got to give a lot of credit actually to how FaZe Clan have approached the game since they got that first flag on the board. They have the lead. They also have Renegade just doing what Renegade does, which is no-scoping unaware players. Almost picks up the double onto Rayne as well. But they haven't taken any risks. They haven't needed to. They've demanded the respect of their opponents and that 50-yard line by having the lead. Getting the power weapons, holding the snipes, clearing their base out has been #1 priority.
Absolutely, and 3 dead again, back-to-back. SnakeBite, your last player alive twice in a row now, and we'll see if this flag will continue. It should for Shopify if they play this correctly. SnakeBite still alive in the vent, just tanking damage. Oh, almost does it to Rayne. However, he stays alive long enough to buy the team time.
Camo's up as well. You see, Renegade's just got away with the camo. Frosty gets bodied as well, but after doing a good amount of damage himself, Renegade gets away with that camo. And you have to say, with Shopify having the kills that they had in that position, surprising to see Renegade allowed to live with that power up.
They had 3 dead back-to-back and SnakeBite trapped in the vent. Somehow SnakeBite buys enough time for the team to keep that flag at home. However, the pull happens again.
Flag is moving. Rayne's got that flag in his hands, and FaZe, they find themselves 2 dead at the moment. Karmea, he's got a sniper rifle. Then no one really looks like they're going to be able to get across the map, especially with Karmea just destroying skulls.
What an angle. Take a look at this, by the way. Shout out to the observers catching this flag run at the same time in parallel. No pull, cap goes in. Shopify Rebellion, they pick quite a time to strike. They will tie the game at 1-1 with 1 minute left on the clock.
And again, it's Karmea. Karmea making plays. If he doesn't hit those couple of shots, the flag goes home. Frosty was there inside of the base, causing a ruckus. But he manages to body him as well as ripping the face off of SnakeBite bottom middle. Insane reaction times from him. And now FaZe, who have done so well defensively, this is the problem with playing defensively. If you let one flag go, when you've only got a 1 flag advantage, all of a sudden the momentum is back on the side of Shopify Rebellion, but it's brought FaZe to life. They have 3 dead, they're getting that flag moving once more.
Beautiful late game composure, really from both sides here. A tug of war, back and forth, 3 dead for Shopify. Karmea was the only player with an angle. SnakeBite will let the shields recharge and continue the run. We talked about him being the objective master. He's doing it yet again.
Just weaving this flag back in the same way we saw him a few moments ago.
Here it is. Whoop.
10 seconds till the sniper's coming up. With 10 seconds left on the clock, it's all about this flag cap here. Shopify Rebellion trying to make a last-second stand, but they can't do it. And SnakeBite puts in his 2nd flag of the game.
A little bit of pull there. Frosty gets a stop on the stand. That will be it. FaZe will take game #1. And they said, you think you might have picked the right time to strike? We will one-up you with our flag cap that comes in with 4 seconds left to steal the game away from Shopify Rebellion. Quite a late game effort from FaZe. They strike when it counts, and they will now have a 1-0 lead in the series.
Not for the first time we've seen FaZe leave it late on an Argyle capture the flag, but they leave it late for a reason, because they're waiting for that perfect opportunity, waiting for that perfect moment to get that flag running. You have to say, they soaked up a lot of pressure from Shopify Rebellion in that game once they got that first flag cap. The one time it did break, it was a great conversion coming in from the blue squad, but that last moment run, the flood coming in on the base, they caught those players on the elbow of the respawn, just completely flooded it. SnakeBite had a clear run home.
He really did. I think one thing worth noting as well, when they had their backs against the wall in terms of the game clock, FaZe worked much faster with that flag run. And I think if you're able to time your kills perfectly, you don't have to slay twice. You can get that flag running immediately, and that's what FaZe did. If they had to slay a whole nother round, you can bet that game would have gone to overtime. Instead, FaZe taking advantage of the gap and the opening, identifying the angles they needed to cover, as you said. SnakeBite timing his shield recharge perfectly for the rest of the run to make sure he doesn't die to Karmea, watching the engine angle. In the end, the flag goes home. It's well timed for FaZe, and they will win the game 2-1.
It's interesting to talk about. You don't have to get 2 sets of slays here. It's if you get a quick 4 dead, I think we were timing it. We were running a custom game. We were saying it's about 13 seconds until you get that flag past the halfway mark on Argyle if you hit a couple of slides and do what you got to do. If you can do that, think about the respawn time in the back of your head, right? There's no opportunity to get into a position to even shoot that flag carrier. and that flag is pretty much gone. All you've got to do then, you don't have to pick up the kills, you just have to back those players down to get that cap on board, and that was what FaZe did so well.
Yeah, exactly. Also, just love to see the discipline from SnakeBite. Every time he's in screens, he drops the flag to hit the drop slide with the flag just to save the extra 1 to 2 seconds across the run whenever you can. And as these players have learned potentially the hard way in the qualifiers, saving those 1 to 2 seconds can truly be the difference on Argyle, and maybe even more so than other CTF maps we've seen, because you're going to have spawners that are flying at you from your side vent, from your side shotgun, and you want to get that flag in as fast as you can. FaZe does it twice. Shopify Rebellion only able to do it once, and they will close it out.
Yeah, the tough thing on Argyle is getting that flag over the 50-yard line, getting it halfway across. If you can do that, you can pretty much just deny all lines of sight from the respawners on getting shots on the flag till they have to, of course, go actually into that flag itself. So that's the difference that you've just seen between the two squads, that quick, almost instantaneous 4 dead that was picked up by FaZe for that final flag cap was absolutely perfectly timed, like you say. But now we have to change the pace a little bit more. We have to think about our next game here. We're going back to Imperium, we're going back to Slayer, and I have to say, FaZe have looked terrifying on this map.
They really have, and you have to think, even in that game, outslaying their opponents by 67-61 as well, and running a lot of the slaying department throughout that game, and they're going to be ready for this. And I think a lot of teams are watching the main stage matches and realizing, okay, we cannot afford to go down in a big way in this game type, because you will get steamrolled, you will get snowballed, you will get blown out. The two players on your screen here, let's take a look at the matchup between Frosty and RyaNoob.
Both in double positive in Slayers, it's not too bad. Certainly the players to watch as we go into this game number 2. And I just wonder what tricks this squad, that is led, of course, by RyaNoob, has got up their sleeves for a team like FaZe, who want to play this game as aggressively as possible. If they get power weapons, they're going to use them. They're going to put you on a spawn trap, much like we saw a little bit earlier on. You know, how devastating this game can be. Quadrant really felt it for quite some time. Now, I'm interested to see if RyaNoob has got some way to stop that, some way to slow the game down if they don't have the weapons to play with, or if it's just a case of kind of looking to the heavens, praying that you can get a couple of picks and get out of that spawn trap.
Yeah, we'll have to see. If there's one thing we know, it's certainly that with RyaNoob on your screen, also in the back, Coach B-Man, and we know best man plus RyaNoob equals big brain halo, especially on a classic map like Imperium. They might have a few tricks up their sleeve in terms of opening strategies, maybe some nades and some angles that we might see them bust out here on the main stage against an opponent like FaZe. One thing I also want to highlight through that game, though, we had really dominating control from FaZe. They were actually outslaying by 10. And Shopify, during their flag run and that great quick scope from Karmea, they were actually able to bring the game back pretty even in terms of slays. That's not easy to do. However, that resilience might indicate that even if they're down by a few here on Imperium Slayer, they might be able to dig deep and get back in the slaying department. Only game 2 will hold the answers to that question.
A little bit of an update from one of our other games going on at the moment between the world champions and Quadrant. Optic versus the French squad is tied up at 1-1.
Okay.
So Quadrant certainly showing that they're not here to just participate in this tournament. They really want to make a deep run, but they've got to close the series out today. Optic, I mean, probably one of the biggest challenges to do so, but we've seen good signs. But good signs don't win your tournaments. They don't put you in the latter stages of the tournaments. They have to take down one of the big dogs if they want to solidify their position in this pool, and Optic's certainly a tough ask.
Two very different teams, however, pretty similar shades of green, and only one of them is going to be able to win that series to be the ultimate green wall there. Optic going to want to make sure that they close out Quadrant quick, purely because if Quadrant gets an inch, they might take a mile, and Optic knows exactly what they need to do in that series. But back to our main stage match. FaZe versus Rebellion, it's 1-0 in favor of FaZe after a pretty tight 2-1 win on Argyle CTF. Just in case you're just joining us, welcome to the very first HCS major of the season, live from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's great to be back with you here. Gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun in the booth with you, Mark.
I'm having the best time, dude.
I'm having the best time.
As I say, the off-season was too long. Too long. Honestly, I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I was
in the off-season. Yeah. So it's good to be back. At least it gives us something to do, to be honest with you. I want to kind of just highlight a couple of things here as we wait for this game number 2 to get underway. The amount of trophies that have been lifted by these players on this stage at the moment. To put it in perspective, right? On the side of FaZe, SnakeBite has 18 tournament wins. 18! On the other side of the stage, we kind of highlighted it, Mental has 22.
Crazy.
22! That's how successful these players have been in their respective, careers. Absolutely ridiculous, and that is the amount of talent we're seeing on the screen. But I also want to highlight, if you were to make a top 5 list of snipers in Halo Infinite, 3 of the players would probably be on FaZe.
Yeah.
And I mean that with all due respect to everyone else, but Renegade, Frosty, Royal 2, it's tough to pick many players that's going to beat them if you pick up a snipe.
Also tough, the fact that we have back-to-back dual sniper maps to start things off, and then of course your third map also includes a sniper. So as we mentioned earlier, this is the most sniper-heavy opening day of a tournament you will see in Halo Infinite yet, due to the new maps and game types that are brought into the mix. But this gives us a chance, while it sounds like some audio getting sorted out on the stage, this gives us a chance to talk a little bit about the fact that we have a pretty interesting mix of teammates on the stage here. The one thing I have to say is Mental at one point in that game was 11-6 and leading the lobby in kill death. With a lobby like this, it's pretty amazing. In the end, of course, FaZe gets the best of them. PS legends, and now to be able to pick up RyaNoob, to be able to pick up Rayne, to bring them under the banner here. Best Men now building quite a roster on the Shopify side, and now giving a pretty good test to FaZe in game number 1. We'll see what they can do in game number 2, maybe tie up the series in the Slayer.
Looks like game number 2 is ready to go. Thank you for bearing with us, everybody. Empyrean Slayer, not the pit, is where we head for game number 2. Game number 1 went to FaZe Clan right at the last second in that capture the flag game. Now we have to see if FaZe are going to keep that ruthless aggression that we've seen them put together every time they've played this map in the qualifiers. Will this be FaZe romping to a 2-0 series lead, or will we see RyaNoob come up with something a little bit spicy?
If there's one team that can romp, it's FaZe. They're going to be romping through this one, and as we talked about, this team is so quick to identify the gaps, capitalize on opportunities. Let's see if they can do it in game number 2, kicking things off with Frosty.
Oh, Frosty gets blamed at the start of things. Karmea again reads that one like a book. We saw that flank from Frosty a couple of times in the qualifiers, and it worked. This time, he gets read like a book, and that's preparation, right? That's just preparation. Frosty with a sniper! RyaNoob drops the rockets.
Look at the... Oh! Triple kill for Frosty off the opening. He's got the combo. Sniper and rockets in hand. This is absolutely wild. One thing we got to highlight as well on set. FaZe with a delayed sniper grab. They don't go for it off the rip. They get it late, and it becomes a triple kill for Frosty. 7-2 off the open.
Shopify Rebellion. Thinking about to be turned into juice because you found yourself inside of a FaZe blender right now. Rockets, repulsor, sniper rifle in the hands of Frosty here. He rearranges, repositions, and Mental explodes.
Look at that. You thought for a second Mental was maybe going to play the drop shield angle there and maybe could have gotten away with it. However, he walks right into the rock. Oh, Frosty going for some style points as well. Repulsing off the training for a cheeky angle that you never would have seen in Halo 3, but Frosty's already bringing out some of the tricks in his first match on the main stage.
Picks up one. Karmea picks up 2, though. Not only picking up the kill on Frosty, also sniped Renegade. And I have to give a huge amount of credit to the team in blue right now. All the weapons, every single one was in the hands of FaZe. And now you're seeing that score, just a 1-kill difference. FaZe up by 1, and Karmea with a chance to hit some shots.
Karmea trying to say anything you could do, I could do better. Also the same repulsor angle off the training. It doesn't pay off for him. However, they bring the game a lot closer, now only down by 3.
Karmea gets taken down by Renegade as well. Renegade somehow comes out of that situation with a double, but that all came from an aggressive push down long haul from FaZe. They sent it down long haul. They did not allow Shopify Rebellion to feel comfortable for even a moment.
And that's what you have to do on this map. Of course, it has a lot of classic map tendencies from Halo 3's The Pit. However, let's not forget, this is still Halo Infinite. You need to play this game as fast as you can in those scenarios, and it pays off. This game was just 10-9, and off of that push, it's now 17-11 in favor of FaZe. As we said, they're wasting no time. They will identify gaps and pick your team apart immediately.
Flank coming in here from Renegade again. Trying to position himself for those rockets and overshield, which are going to come up simultaneously in 1 second's time. Looks like they'll be able to secure those. SnakeBite has them. Karmea trying to make a play out. Won't be able to do so, though. Mental has the overshield, but SnakeBite has the rockets. That will be the overshield out of commission and sent where the air is thin.
Wow, chunky damage there, and then he just repulses them off to finish the one as well. 21-14 now. It's a great lead for FaZe Clan yet again. 7-4 for Frosty off of the opening.
Renegade might be wearing the colors of FaZe, but in a few seconds' time, you might see him in a black and white shirt with a swag bag on his back as he's looking to steal that sniper away from Shopify Rebellion. At the moment, he's taking the top of the tower just to pin these players back. Has the heat wave as well. 2 players flank through, though, from Shopify. You can see that called out immediately by Royal 2. Now he has to think about positioning himself. Rotation comes back, that's gonna help. Frosty removing one of them.
You are playing against two of the best snipers to ever play Halo professionally. Royal 2 sets his crosshairs, but Frosty takes him. Oh my God. This is some form of cruel punishment to have to go up against Frosty and Royal 2 while you're spawning in the back corner of Empyrean.
Oh my goodness. I mean, they can't move at the moment. They're just being pinned in. Almost surprising to see a shot like that not being hit by Frosty, such as the immeasurable talent of this man. We're now going to rotate. Shopify Rebellion once again playing it slow though, making them work for these kills. And maybe looking to play for that drop ball, which can be a way of getting out of this.
26-15 now, and feels like as things slow down the tiniest bit and a few kills being exchanged on both sides, feels like a good time here at the mid game to get into a listen in here with FaZe Clan. Oh!
Oh, Matt, where?
Cuts. Those are cuts.
Let me top tower, guys.
What are they train pit? They're training pit.
Hold on.
Nice, PJ.
We need to go train pit. They're mulling.
He's under bridge, Ryan, hitting our side.
I got him. Nice. Two.
They're cuts. Yeah, mulling. They're cuts. They're fly one.
Course one. All dead. S1.
I'm one hit, okay? He wave on respawn, Chris. He wave on respawn.
Got you. They're flag ready to cuts.
Yeah, let's put PJ's push it.
Ryan S1.
I'll kill this guy.
Nice, guys. Over your
Yeah, come fly, John, come fly.
Matt, I'm weak. I'm here, Matt, I'm here.
Yo, make sure you play for Obi Rockets. They're first.
First kill me.
You guys heard me on Obi Rockets.
Yes, Brad, that's you. Brad, Rockets
I
yours.
hear you guys.
Yeah, they're quarter.
Matt, you and I go Ovi, Brad got Rockets.
There's one going quarter.
They're probably gonna get this Ovi. They're probably
I'm
gonna
about to
get
leave.
He waves in like 30. No. Fight this shit.
Yeah, they have Ovi now. I'm RS too.
Someone play
Yeah, they're C.
I rocketed to us already.
He's in runway. Our training.
Yeah, you guys hear me?
They're C.
That's already. Karmea one hit our runway. Karmea one hit going our quarter.
Rockets are out. Custom is out as well. They don't have us.
Our quarter
should be up now.
Karmea.
You're pushing our tower, Matt. Care.
You want to just flip or no?
Yes. Hit it.
Long.
Let's go long, bro.
Yo, I hit him once already, PJ.
That heard. He's gonna be in green.
E-wave is up. Our tower is really weak.
John, you're the one to
get
get
through.
Give me one our green.
Our
green or RS2? Brad, I can help you.
You're good, man. You're literally good. He's going back to play for once here. Can't snipes at 20.
Yeah, I'm leaving their side.
You're a good man. I have you.
Yeah, turn more.
Double hitting. Fight this shit, man.
Matt, fight this.
He's weak. Really weak. Nice. Good shit.
I'm one.
Yeah, he's hitting Muller. Watch out, Muller.
Nice. Good up.
PJ, come to the long.
Last car tower.
Leave the guy tower.
No.
Right now, as the sniper is coming up on the FaZe side, this game is done and dusted, but we got to talk about Renegade. That reminded me of, like, you see the videos where people turn up in fancy dress and like no one else has? It's like, is anyone else wearing fancy dress? And everyone's like, yeah, 100%.
Oh my, in case you missed, we're not even gonna have any time to talk about it. We'll talk about it in the post game because there's not even any time left on the scoreboard. It's 48-23, 2 kills left for FaZe.
His drop slides coming in from RyaNoob, trying to do what he can. Does manage to pick up the bank shot, but it's only 2 kills to go here. The only question, as always in these positions, is Andy Dudinsky, how do you like your steak?
To be honest, I like a nice chef's choice, medium rare, and that's what you have served up. 49-26, 1 kill to go for FaZe, as they will look for that last final kill on the board. 5 minutes left, but they certainly won't need it. Searching for that final one to end game number 2.
Please don't curse the steak dinner.
Nah, no
That's all
chance.
that's going through my head right now.
No way.
Renegade's trying to hunt down Karmea here. Should have the flank. Karmea knows he's there though. The beat down the repulse.
Wait a minute.
1 kill to go for me to ruin the game.
Surely they still get the steak dinner.
It's
They've got 1 more kill to go. Keep in mind, it's 20 or more, so they can afford 1 more kill. And I think it's a testament to the scoreline, the fact that we're worried about the steak dinner more than we are the result of the game. Still searching for the final kill. There it is.
Okay, we get the steak dinner and FaZe, more importantly, close things out here on Imperium, and it was an imperious performance from them. Dominating so many big plays, so many flashy plays, especially from the sniper rifle of Frosty.
And as I said, when you're on Royal 2's POV and he looks at someone on training and that player gets blamed by by Frosty before Royal 2 can even hit the shot, as you see Royal 2 right now, that's how I feel he's playing right now. He's silencing the critics, and they are hitting shots. You do not want to go up against 2 of the best snipers in the game simultaneously. Renegade also, by the way, going 12-4, triple positive for him.
Yeah, not bad from Renegade. One thing I want to just point out as well, Rayne, 4-12. I get a feeling it was one of those games for Rayne where every time he spawned, he got sniped.
Yeah.
And it's like, to come out of those situations sometimes with 4 kills, it's like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? This is what else you want me to do.
Exactly. I think on Empyrean Slayer, you don't even worry about the stat lines in a game like that just because you know players were getting absolutely picked and ripped off of their spawns. Great numbers from the side of FaZe. They will just narrowly, with no room to spare, still secure the steak dinner, a 20-kill victory at 50-30, and a pretty convincing one that's so hard to bounce back from. But just to get back to what you and I were laughing about, you might have heard during the FaZe clan listen in, there was an opportunity where they said, should we flip the map? Should we trade bases? And Renegade is the only player alive on FaZe on the other side at Snipe 1 goes, yes, definitely get over here.
Definitely do that.
Definitely trade bases. In the end, he was forced to come back, but he was a hard yes on the vote for flipping the map. But a lot of great stuff during the listening, and you could tell a lot of practice of, for example, how many people are going OP, how do they hold green, when do they flip the map, what do they challenge, also repulsing the overshield off, just really great game management from FaZe all around.
Another thing that jumps out to me from the listening as well, as we bring the series score up, just to remind you if you're joining us where we find ourselves, is the prominence of the voice of SnakeBite, again in the comms, right?
Yep.
Clear communication coming in from him. You heard Brad come back. Usually it was Frosty making some calls. Frosty seems to have just sat back a little bit, and this IGL role has gone back into the hands of SnakeBite in a more authoritative way. He's going, okay, you come with me, we're now playing for this Obi. Frosty going, let's fight for this, backing up what SnakeBite was saying. And I kind of like that, but what an opening it was, by the way, from Frosty.
Yeah.
Starting off by flanking training, didn't work, so he goes, okay, I'm going back for revenge. I'm going to snipe 3 of you and make parity once again.
And what's so interesting is to take a look at Frosty there, 1.46 KD on your screen. Just the way that he played that, it really is a free push. You have a free push to see if you can win a battle at training. And if you lose that, you lose 1 kill, then you reset, you grab your sniper, and maybe you get a triple. And that's exactly what he did. So it's a great delayed sniper grab from FaZe. That opening strategy really paying off for them and also paving the way for a steamroll of a victory in game number 2.
Yeah, it's always one of those things on Empyrean or Pip, whatever you want to name it, whatever era you come from, is I was always funny when people immediately picked up the snipe, because I feel like the game has kind of moved to a place now where you can send more bodies for the power-ups further up the map, because inevitably you're going to lose 1 player, right? And they can rotate back, you can play for that sniper off the pickup.
Right.
But, if you pick up the snipe off the rip, I always feel like you're kind of restricting your movement a little bit as a team. You can hold some angles, but you're always worried about keeping the sniper instead of fighting forward for the rockets, for the overshield, and other things that come up on the map. So it was interesting to see FaZe take that same approach.
Definitely, and we'll have to see if that continues to be a thread in the Empyrean matches for the rest of the weekend. We'll keep an eye on if teams are going for that immediate grab, maybe a delayed grab. Of course, the risk in delaying the grab is you could see if the other team is able to win the training and overshield battle, they could fly right into your S1. That's a little bit of the trade-off and the risk, but that's something we will certainly keep an eye on as the new map is played. But now that we've seen everything so far, we go back to the classics. It's live fire strongholds for game number 3. FaZe 1 away from closing it out.
FaZe 2 up, as you say. Just an update from our other game that we kind of quickly jumped into, Optic versus Quadrant. Optic now in the lead in that series 2-1. So that's going to a game 4. The question is, will Shopify Rebellion be able to send us to a game 4 in this series, or will this be FaZe Clan closing things out?
We called FaZe Clan the threat to the throne for Optic Gaming. So far, they have been quite a threat in this series and look like they are absolutely firing on all cylinders. And let's not forget, SnakeBite, Royal 2, and Frosty. Only one event win for them last season. They are back for revenge. They have often been the title holders in professional Halo. They're looking to do that again this year. Here they are in game number 3, leading 2-0, and we're underway on live fire strongholds.
If you trust anything I say this weekend, it's that they want that title back more than anything. Off the rip here, Renegade's going to get that sniper rifle, so that's going to be a little bit of power for them to play with, and now they're going to make the push on towards C. Shopify Rebellion made an earlier push onto B, and it looks like they're going to be able to defend pretty strongly here. Taking the sniper rifle out of the hands of Renegade is going to slow the push down for a second, but now you're going to have to deal with Frosty. The second wave now coming in from FaZe, more pushes coming in towards C.
FaZe really just playing for control here, and they grab the sniper off the opening. They also grab the overshield. They're going to pick up all these kills. That's 2 dead as well, and it took a little bit of a time, but they now will have AB under control.
And now Frosty's still got so much overshield that they can continue to pressurize. They can continue to push. He can bait and shoulder this corner to make sure that RyaNoob doesn't get to use that green gun, and now they can think about the triple cap. Rayne's just respawned over at B here, but there's one more player to deal with, and that's Karmea, and Karmea gets 2, stays alive long enough to delay that push onto C. And that one play from Karmea maybe has given Shopify Rebellion the opportunity now to move on to A.
Yeah, great solo effort there from Karmea, and to be honest, we're gonna need to see big efforts like that from every player on Shopify Rebellion if they want to keep this series close. However, they will lead for what feels like the first time really in the series in a significant way, 35-13 off of the opening here.
They just playing for information, playing for a pick here. RyaNoob's gonna get the first one though, but damage is being done over here at B. The attention's certainly moving towards B as FaZe pick up 2 kills. SnakeBite trying to pick up the kill on this flanker. Karmea again. Royal 2 is gonna be there with a beatdown and doesn't get traded himself. So Shopify Rebellion, 3 dead now. B back into the control of FaZe Clan, and now that's a triple cap, and this is where things can get extremely worrying for the team in blue.
Love this play from SnakeBite here. He's being such a threat. Even though he's low on pillars, Shopify knows they can't afford to peek and get caught out here. Still in trip cap. SnakeBite trying to defend this overshield.
Mental trying to do what he can just to de-scope him as well, allow the rest of his teammates to move up. SnakeBite just under too much pressure to hit the shot on the overshield. Player narrowly kind of threads the needle between the two, but it looks like Shopify Rebellion will get that overshield. But while this fight's going down on this side of the map, all of the points are just being collected here by FaZe Clan. They are doubling up on Shopify Rebellion.
Look how much time that SnakeBite bought for FaZe Clan there. Even though he was sniping and the overshield gets lost, he buys him a lot of time. However, the trip cap is now being flipped as you see B will go, A will go, and even underway on C. So eventually the overshield paid off. Until then, Karmea will fall.
FaZe turn their attention towards A, trying to use this mid lane just to control the 2 strongholds they have in their hands at the moment. Frosty's job right now, get information, protect C. And then look to collapse maybe onto B or where they find the kills coming in. SnakeBite gets one, and now you immediately see FaZe flying to support that teammate who's just got the kill. Frosty, nice little no-scope. Onto Rayne bottom middle, that'll take him out of the game, and they continue scoring here. They've gone past the 3 figures, 109-51 now, as Frosty looks to find some bodies.
Looks for some bodies there, hits the remote detonate instead of hitting that shot. Be 1 dead for each side. Frosty gonna take his time and rotate here to pillars. We talked about how important this area is, and it only become more and more important as the meta shifts on Livefire.
Shopify Rebellion stop the triple cap and managed to stop the momentum of FaZe, which is such an important thing to do. There's a trade coming in from Frosty. Both weapons down back tower. Everyone's going to have to be aware of that. Everyone on the map is going to be trying to scramble to pick those up. But Royal 2 doesn't need weapons sometimes. Give him the old trusty battle rifle. He gets the job done. But Shopify Rebellion have completely flipped this game right now. For the first time, they have a triple cap, and they have all of FaZe spawning over at B.
What a comeback. They were just down here 100-50. Now it's only a 20-point game, 109-90. Great control. However, B and C also being flipped at the same time.
B and C being flipped, but with the control that they had, they now managed to get that next overshield as well. So this score is going to be flipped as well, and the pressure is being put back onto FaZe now. Shopify Rebellion have upped the pace here. They have upped the ante, and they have recognized they can't just sit back against this FaZe lineup. They have to take the fight to them.
That's right. This is exactly what they were looking to do. They know the pressure's going to be coming out of Sandbags and out of Big Door as well. They will continue to hold at BC, now applying pressure to A as well.
Score flipped. Shopify Rebellion back into the lead now, and what a comeback this has been. As RyaNoob now makes a flank behind the back tower, waiting for information from teammates. As Frosty tries to make a play top middle. Numbers here over at the tower for Shopify Rebellion. I mean, they'll be able to do good damage here and surely keep hold of C. Great shots coming in from RyaNoob as well. He has the advantage with the height on the tower, but outshooting Royal 2 from any angle, extremely difficult to do.
Wow, what a set of plays here from RyaNoob. Just perfectly timing the peaks there to do so much damage, also pick up a few kills as well. However, Rayne's gonna have to clean up a little bit of the garbage, and he can't just yet. SnakeBite turns on him there and maintains control over at C for FaZe.
Just wondered there if he doesn't have the repulsor, the backsmack was the better option. Just kind of drew attention towards himself there. Unfortunately, which allowed FaZe to pick up the kill. FaZe now flip the scoring. AC once again in their control.
C though being flipped as well, and now with Shopify, as we said, with their first significant lead in this series, it's a great opportunity to hear the comms and get into a listen with the side of Shopify Rebellion.
Going to A.
One nest.
Nest fighting me.
Look at nest.
Nest one. Nest dice as well.
Nest bridge.
Nest one as well.
Hey, Platter's on? One shot Nest and dice. Dice. Could be mid.
I'm going. I think I'm going forward.
10 seconds OS, 10 seconds OS.
I'm spawning a bubble still. Spawning a bubble still.
I'm spawned.
Push up ramp. Push up ramp. Come in.
5 seconds OS. 2 eyes mid could be playing, be pushing it.
One guy tower.
Could be dropping.
Everybody. Hey, plant. Hey, plant.
OS now, OS now.
Screens weak, Royal 2. End a plant to make.
Billy has OS, Billy has OS.
One close play. Okay. Watch out, Watch out,
Watch out, right tunnel, key door. Two guys, key door. Alright, through respawn, right?
Cuts screens.
Cuts right now, coming.
Step A.
No, we don't have weak with you, Wave.
We're playing green. We're playing green.
I'm back green.
Help me.
Top tires on me, Renegade.
You guys back green. I'm with sniper.
I need it.
I'm winning, I think.
Yeah, you're fine.
Do one shot on me.
We're coming.
Victor?
I got one. I'm capping.
Victor.
They're going to see, they're going to see.
If I weak.
And Victor again. Victor one shot,
I
saving
need it. I'm
Frosty.
one shot.
You're okay. Victor's one shot.
If I Frosty.
One shot. Dropping. Dead. I'm going in.
Two cuts, two dummies on me, two dummies on me.
One tower, two
Tower gets hard.
Look at elbow. I've
Another one tower two, another one tower two weak. Two shots.
Spawning green.
He's
Spawning
shot.
green.
Got me, bro. Tower 2, number.
Tower two, roll two.
Up to it. Watch. Two there.
We jump back into the game, and Shopify Rebellion have completely put the pressure onto FaZe now. Something to point out, though, the overshield. We didn't catch it on camera, but I think it was Renegade ninjuring Mental, who just picked up that OS.
A big play from Renegade. You expect a big player like that to be making those plays, and it has paid off and kept them close in this game. They'll now hold BC for the first time in a while. However, still trailing by 50 points. Shopify still with the lead.
Weapons in the hands of FaZe, though. You saw, I think it was Frosty got away with the sniper rifle top middle. Renegade has the heat wave, and that'll be an easy pick for him, you would imagine. But that commando is so strong, and Mental just shreds him.
And has only gotten stronger in the offseason, as we all know. We're expecting to that be an even bigger force here. 3 dead, though, for FaZe. This should be an opportunity for B hold for Shopify, and we'll see exactly where the spawns come in. We should assume that they will be around back C. We're already seeing dummy spawns, presence on Overshield and scoreboard as well.
Overshield coming up in 10 seconds or so. Both teams going to be fighting for it as well. Rayne trying to create some space. Renegade's on a flank. And Renegade on that flank. Usually the team who flanks first is going to have the advantage with that overshield. But look at this play. Royal 2 trying to make a solo play on A. They change their attention towards it to keep scoring, give up the overshield, and now you can see SnakeBite kind of stuck. How do I want to play this? He knows there's multiple players around him. He can't find someone to focus on. Finally, the help arrives, and this should be an opportunity to recap A.
Let's see. He doesn't finish. He does not
He
finish.
doesn't get it!
In the end, BC will stay. A will get reset, but in the end, it's still going to be Shopify controlling the scoreboard. A will finally flip over here for FaZe. And my goodness, what a back and forth between the two teams there. As you said, pushing past the overshield. Eventually they get it. SnakeBite has to go heroic for a second. And it will be more points on the board for Shopify. 222 to 150 now. We should see FaZe flip this and begin scoring it again if they can finish B.
Pressure already on though. Karmea making a play bottom middle. The question is, where does he prioritize? Do they try and move towards C here? Do they try and flank bottom middle on the pillars? It looks like the trade has come in, so he won't be too important on the map right now. FaZe will be able to hold. They will be able to score, but they don't have many mistakes left in the tank.
They don't. Here's RyaNoob trying to get, as we said, the ever-important pillars area stays alive. Bottom middle, which is going to be big as well. They'll start B. Royal 2 with a lot of pressure here.
A lot of pressure, and needs to make a big play. He manages to contribute towards 2 kills. That's going to be 3 dead now for Shopify Rebellion. Sniper rifle and heat wave in the hands of Frosty, and most importantly for FaZe fans, scoring back in their hands.
This could be the beginning of the end for Shopify. Yes, they were up about 220 to 150. However, FaZe has all the ingredients for a big comeback.
Boom! Frosty takes down 1. RyaNoob with no real chance in that situation, just lined up by Frosty, and that headshot completely slows things down. Frosty sniffs out another one bottom middle as well, and with the Ovi coming up, 2 in the death screen for Shopify Rebellion means that FaZe are very much back in this game.
Down by less than 20 now. Frosty just picking them apart quite literally, one by one. 223 to 211.
All the hopes on the overshield now for Shopify Rebellion, and Frosty knows it. Frosty's moved towards that OS. He's got that sniper rifle traced on it as well. Anyone who jumps up will be bodied, but a 3-man push is going to be good enough. The heat wave gets absolutely melted. It's a risky play here from Shopify Rebellion. They get the OS though, and now they can make the play.
What a timing push there. 2 dead for FaZe. Shopify with a beautiful, perfectly timed 3-man push on the overshield. Now FaZe stopped at 236. Can Shopify bring this back and get back in the lead here on the home stretch?
But he's going to be contested. Frosty tries to do it. Does he get the stick? No, he doesn't, but gets the shields ripped off. A's going to be flipped. B will be turned back over to Shopify Rebellion as well, and this game could not be closer.
What a set of plays here in the home stretch now. Essentially tied at the 230 mark. They will continue scoring. This next round of slays could decide the game.
Will decide the game. It's as simple as that. Whoever picks up the first kill could be in a great position to win it. It's Rayne who gets it onto Frosty. RyaNoob with a second as well. The score just keeps ticking up up for Shopify Rebellion. And with someone contesting B, if Mental wins this pivotal battle, this will be the game going to Shopify Rebellion.
Look at this, just needs to stay alive. The pressure comes at B though. They stop at 248. Can they get the kill? He should be able to. Yes, finishes it. That will be it. And Shopify Rebellion is back in the series. They will take game number 3. On the board here, 2-1 in favor of FaZe, but that's sending us into some additional games in the series.
They had one win condition in that endgame. One. That overshield had to be won. That fight had to be won. 3 players push the cards. If Frosty hits one no-scope there, probably 3 players fall to no shields. He doesn't hit that shot. Shopify get the OS and are able to make plays off the back of it. It's a great call from whoever made it. Did FaZe let it slip a little bit by not contesting a bit harder? Looking on the result of it, you have to say yes, but what a back and forth game, and we got a series on our hand.
Absolutely back and forth there at the end. You saw at least 3 or 4 lead changes between the 200 and 250 mark. Could not have been closer, and the final slays in the kills category between these two teams tied at 55 apiece. As we said, it could not have been a closer game number 3, and it's an excellent response from Shopify Rebellion. And what did we say? When you get RyaNoob and Best Man on the same team, it's big brain halo on that last push. We were so lucky to see it from Frosty's POV because it was perfectly timed. We'll see if we can get a highlight later on in the show, maybe later on the weekend. The fact that all 3 players exposed and showed at the exact frame. Frosty could not choose a target, unable to execute there. And that is the winning play for Shopify Rebellion. They will take the overshield and they will take the game. 250 to 236, and they are on the board, just 1 game away from potentially sending us to a game number 5.
And now we go to where all disagreements are usually sorted out. That's on the streets. We head there. For game number 4 of the series, Oddball is going to be the game type, a very, very interesting one for me as well. Historically, objective time-based game types. You love a RyaNoob team, but FaZe with his slaying power, usually you don't get the opportunity to get near the Oddball. So it's a real interesting clash of styles here on streets.
And I'm very curious, as we said, we've been looking at SnakeBite's role on this team, and not just us here in the casting booth, but also SnakeBite himself. If you didn't catch it earlier, SnakeBite mentioning that he's still finding exactly what he needs to do for this team. In the qualifier, he played a ton of objective work. You could say it was actually the most objective points on the board in any actual physical HCS tournament there. Once again, part of that was due to his ping, and he decided to play the objective role. And he was telling me, he's wondering, in a situation where we're on firing on all cylinders, should I be dropping the ball for Renegade? Should I keep it? It's really going to be situation dependent, and this will be the first time we see them play oddball on the main stage. I'm curious just how much objective work we'll see from SnakeBite as they continue to work out and kind of fine-tune their team.
Yeah, that's the thing, a really good thing you raised there as well. Kind of like what we were talking about with Sentinels a bit earlier. Yes, 3 of this core team have been together for so many years now, but this is still a new lineup. There's still a meshing period.
Yeah.
There's still time to sort out little parts of game types that just naturally are going to take reps. FaZe don't have those reps right now. They've got a couple of online tournaments under their belts, a couple of scrims, but in the grand scheme of things, there are still going to be little things that they have to adjust and they have to work out. The more games they get under their belt, of course, the tighter those moments are going to become. The question is, are they going to be able to tie it up here in this tournament at the first major of the year in a way which pushes them towards that championship?
Both RyaNoob and Best Man on your screen, 2 of the best Halo brains to ever compete in professional Halo. Now on the same side of the stage. It's different, especially with the talent that surrounds them. You see every player on your screen. Gotta be feeling good after that game number 3. Into our main stage match, it will be game number 4, Streets Ball, between FaZe Clan and Shopify Rebellion. FaZe Clan 1 away from closing it out. Shopify looking to send us to a game number 5 Slayer.
Well, who's going to end up left on the streets here, and who's going to be moving into a much, much better position? Potentially in the pools or potentially in the series towards a game 5. If you just joined us for the first time, welcome. Of course, the series is 2-1 in the favor of FaZe. Little break between the last game may have just allowed FaZe to reset, but Shopify Rebellion with all sorts of momentum.
And talk about the opening strats here. Shopify flying way up into the Bulldog Street to get that damage there to take out the drop shield. It's good pressure from them, however. They're traded out 2-2 here off the open.
2-2, couple of kills starting to fall into the hands of FaZe. Rockets, where are you? There they are.
Oh.
One gets fired, so only one to play with, but it's enough to take down Karmea. Nice little double kill and a Stalker now. to play with for FaZe Clan. Royal 2's got all of the goodies.
Look at both teams just really making sure they get the slaying control before they go for any ball time. It will now finally be some ball time here. However, 4 spawners all ready for Shopify, and here comes the push.
Push is coming in. The only problem is Stalker Rifle's here as well. Karmea's going to challenge. Challenge accepted by Royal 2. He's always going to back himself in that position. 3 dead here. And at the moment, SnakeBite's got the ball in hand. And you can understand why he had so much objective time, because everybody is dying before they even get close to him.
It's a perfect rotate there from FaZe. They immediately get the ball out of Bulldog, straight back to Tram before we can even mention it, and then they immediately pick apart the spawners. They split them there to Neon Street as well as B-side, and the ball stays in Tram the whole time. It is 35-0 in favor of FaZe.
Really important life here for Royal 2 as well. Not only has he got to stay alive long enough to keep his ball carrier safe, but he's also got both weapons. Karmea with a flank here. Oh, he almost got the job done. But that's an important kill, a killing spree as well for Royal 2. Keeps all of the power in the map, all of the weapons in the hands of FaZe.
3 dead again, and if this continues, this could be a very, very dangerous result for the side of FaZe in this first round. Already about 50-0 off of dominant slaying control from the side of FaZe. They'll probably rotate this ball out as well.
Here comes the Bulldog. Royal 2's barking on the stage a lot of the time, but he's barking in game now. Does the damage, but you have to say a really strong push as well. Coming in from Shopify Rebellion, they pick up 3 members of FaZe Clan, and most importantly, stop the scoring, stop the bleeding, and give them a way back into the game.
Does SnakeBite get these rockets? How do you let SnakeBite get the rockets there as the last player alive? He'll trade off the rack as well, but SnakeBite was the solo there on Neons, and if you're on the side of Shopify, you can't allow him to get that rocket launcher. 4 dead. Renegade the only player alive on the map for a moment, and he's perfectly fine with that.
Renegade's going to pick up that spare rocket as well. He's saying if nobody else wants to use it, I'm happy to. RyaNoob doesn't feel the same, as he gets destroyed by that rocket, and now the ball back into their hands. Another kill going to be picked up. Look at the teamwork there, by the way. Renegade's up in the face of Rayne there. By the time he even presses the beatdown button, Frosty's taking his head off.
2 deads here for both sides now, and Renegade going to stay alive. Commando does very well. Maybe he thinks about playing this ball. However, if you look at the teammates, he has a lot of pressure along B stairs, so he's okay to continue holding here. 3 players pushing in from PD and B side. He will just nade and continue to hold back on Commando.
Wonder how Renegade's going to play this 4v4 situation. So the smarter thing to do is try and help out with these slays and then reprioritize for that oddball. He's got the thrust as well. That'll be 2 dead. Good decision making here from Renegade. Now they can turn their attention back to that objective. It's exactly what he does. It's perfect play. He brings the objective back. He's got the commando to play with and the thrust. Therefore, the power's in his hands. Therefore, the oddball cannot be.
Anybody watching this is probably thinking, how on earth are you playing as Renegade? With perfect timing there on the objective dropping, the slaying, hits the pizza jump to go back to Commando. Now, once again, he's got Stalker Rifle holding C stairs. This is perfect gameplay from Renegade. Oh! And he picks up the kill on Karmea as well.
4 dead for Shopify Rebellion, and a harsh lesson in do not throw a nade if you're in that position, because Renegade will charge out, and while your arm is in the air, he'll fire a couple of shots to take you to the death screen. 88 points on the board. They crossed the 90-point mark already. Shopify Rebellion are getting picked apart in round 1.
Renegade with his best Gandalf impression, "You shall not pass," picks up the melee as well. That will be the round, and what a round from FaZe as they'll take that first one in a convincing fashion off the back of amazing play coming in there from Renegade, the entire squad. Frosty also 12 and 7.
We're already in round 2, by the way. That was one of the fastest rounds of oddball we've seen in quite some time. Looking at the other side and seeing what the stats are saying, there's not too much to smile about. Rayne did what he could. This time, a much better opening strategy, though, for Shopify Rebellion. They get the rockets, they get the oddball, and they've got a chance to pick up some slays.
I think Shopify needs to realize that they're able to bounce back in this. I think that was such a deflating result that they maybe lost the momentum off of that game number 3 as we're here in map number 4. They need to dig deep. They need to find a way to get back in this series and see if they can get another round on the board.
Mental with that commando is doing enough, though, for the time being, just to slow down this push. Now, my question is, do FaZe, after that incredible round 1, get a little bit overconfident at the start here? Do they start pushing 1 by 1? Is that teamwork going to be there in the way that it was previously? And at the moment, it's looking like they need to take a few seconds just to reset. Look, the pushes are coming in 1 by 1, and they're being picked apart.
By the way, that was probably the most RyaNoob ball hold I've seen. 4 players on Bulldog, and they are able to get 13 seconds. In the end, you got to ask if it was worth it, because we're going to see FaZe get several players dead and immediately hold back A, probably taking the lead off of this hold alone. All 4 players spawning driveway and red room, but RyaNoob with a remote detonation to kick off the spawn push.
Rotation now coming in. Renegade leading the way. This is a really smart play, by the way. Oh my goodness, absolutely cut in half. That was like a scene from Saw rather than Halo. If Renegade makes, excuse me, if SnakeBite makes it across that window though and doesn't get cut down, Renegade had cleared all the space in Tram for him to make that rotation, but great prioritization, great call outs from Shopify Rebellion to cut him down, but FaZe have bounced back off the back of that. 20 seconds till Rockets come up as well. More importantly, ball back in their hand and lead in their hands as well here in round 2.
Yeah, in terms of strategy, Shopify really looking for some scrappy rotate halo there. As you see, they tried twice now to hold the ball without a clear man advantage, and it's worked out. It's put points on the board. However, FaZe has, in the end, won both of those battles, and now that gives them a 28-17 lead.
Rockets in the hands of Renegade. There's one, he's gonna double back. He wants two, he fights two. RyaNoob now last alive. SnakeBite with the ball in his hands once more, just watching his teammates go to work.
I think Shopify probably gets away with this style, right? This scrappy, really aggressive oddball play against most teams. However, you could tell against FaZe, it's not gonna work. They will identify the gaps, they will have perfect timing pushes, and they will continue to lead in the game, just like they do now.
How elusive Renegade is, by the way. His routes are just so unpredictable. He just slides between the defenses of the team that he's playing against. Rayne in a 1v1 will manage to get the better of him. A little bit of damage being done to Renegade on the push there. Frosty with the Bulldog gets taken down by Karmea as well. So big transfer of power. Not only the Bulldog, but also the thrust now in the hands of Shopify Rebellion.
That was 2 dead for FaZe, as you say, an opportunity for them to continue holding maybe a little bit more of a convincing hold off the back of the mental double. They will continue holding here around Neons, and they need to apply the pressure right away. FaZe is 2 dead, so expect them to slow this down, go for a timing push on their side as well.
Yeah, really good angle there from Karmea as well, just pinning 2 players back. Frosty trying to bait out, however the Bulldog is going to be enough, but the bait might just be good enough as well. Karmea's played that so well, by the way. Damages multiple players, almost gets baited in, but manages to stay alive long enough for his teammates to come in and most importantly stay alive.
Should be a rotate here if anyone's in position at A, but no, because Karmea is the last player alive. The ball does not rotate it out of A, and instead, it's going to stay here. SnakeBite gets the PD spawns, and FaZe Clan going to have a little bit of an advantage here off the spawns.
Royal 2 gets caught off guard here, but he's got a commando. There's a little bit of help coming in from Rayne. This is a great run from Karmea. Look how tight this round number 2 is, though. Only 1 point separating the 2 teams.
Very interesting there, but really unorthodox style of play coming in from both sides as that ball stays in back A, and Karmea is able to trade entires 3 dead for FaZe, and in the end, off of a very back and forth battle, Shopify will have the advantage here. 3 dead again for FaZe, and will be points on the board. It will be a lead change. Shopify will now lead 38-34.
Rockets coming up as well, and that's why you're going to see Rayne drop that ball immediately. Not only because of it, the power weapon being on the map, but because he's got that Stalker rifle, so he can lane all of these players that are trapped inside a tram at the moment. SnakeBite with a good prediction nade. SnakeBite with an even better challenge as well. And Shopify Rebellion find themselves 3 dead, ball back in the hands of FaZe.
What can Mental do? Gets taken down right away. RyaNoob is a spawner, but it's PD spawns. As you see, Royal 2 doesn't know about him, and he gets 1. There should still be 1 player back A, and yes, indeed, that was RyaNoob. He will get the kill. And now 3 alive apiece.
RyaNoob gets 2 somehow in this situation.
Gets 3? Oh God, Renegade, he's playing with him.
He's playing with his food, he picks up 1. The Bulldog shouldn't, he gets 2! There's no way the Renegade turns 3 here, he stays alive, and this is why Renegade is special.
What on earth? The coolest man in the room. He watches RyaNoob gets a triple, and then pulls a play out of his hat to maintain control for FaZe in the back of A. That was absolutely wild, and undoubtedly a highlight from the day, maybe the tournament.
FaZe Clan go into a lead though. SnakeBite's rotated that ball away. 3 dead, however, as I say, that means that Shopify Rebellion once again have a chance to fight for that oddball. Rayne picks up the last kill, so important to do. Now they have the information on spawns. Now they know where FaZe Clan are going to be located. The PD spawner is dealt with. Red Room spawn's now located. They have the ball in their hands, and the lead changes once again.
Great job from Karmea to make sure he takes down the player in the back of PD immediately. You cannot let them stay alive, especially when the B spawns are coming in. Rayne gets a double yet again, and it will be more time on the board for Shopify. However, for a moment, it was only 1 alive. That was Karmea, the spawner.
2 dead here for Shopify. FaZe getting the best of this push by the looks of things. Frosty gets taken down as well, so FaZe, who initially had the advantage, cannot deal with the final players from Shopify here. They clean up the damage that was done. Mental gets picked apart though by SnakeBite. With that double kill, now allows the rest of FaZe to push up. They should have access to not only the oddball, but the Rockets again in the hands of Renegade.
Karmea, the solo, though, picks up 1 kill. Eventually, he'll be taken down. RyaNoob picks off a kill off the damage. Karmea staying alive on caution as the only player and challenging the Rockets. That's huge. That's going to keep Shopify in this game.
FaZe go into a lead, though, but it's a slender one. It's a tiny one. SnakeBite forced to play ball bottom middle as well as 2 of his teammates fall. Rayne picks that ball back up and he wants to go back into Tram, and this is where the power is on this map. If you can get that ball back into Tram, that is your best bet for a long chunk of time.
Rayne thought about it. Now they need to find out where the spawners are. Frosty's in courtyard. He should be dealt with. SnakeBite on heaven. That's trouble. They need to play this ball. You can tell Rayne maybe stutter step. He needs to get this ball out because the pressure's coming.
I wonder if this is a misplay here from Shopify. There was an option to get this ball back to Tram. They decided to try and fight the spawners. And the more time that they're delayed in this fight, the more FaZe have pressure on the map.
Especially with 30 seconds left. The next few holds are going to determine the winner of this game.
Rayne makes the play though, they've cleared this side out, and all of a sudden it's starting to work here for Shopify. They clear the back of the A tower, and now they go into one of the most commanding leads we've seen in the game with just 27 seconds left.
Absolutely, leave it to the Shopify squad. Not a misplay, they've played it perfectly. It takes them an extra second, but they get the kills they need, they get the space they need. Now they're up by 10 here, 20 seconds left.
2-4 though, FaZe making a play, 3-4. Ball not played, and all of a sudden, SnakeBite gets in his hands. Shopify all hit the death screen, and FaZe with 15 seconds left. Now just have to hold off the push from Shopify.
Oh my God, this is down to the wire here. Ball's gonna be rotated here into PD. Shopify needs to make this push count. They get players weak in PD.
FaZe can't play the ball though. If a break comes in here, this could be the game. Completely switching, they want to bait this in. Mental flies in, they pick up one. The shotgun's here as well, the nades fly in as well. Oh my God! SnakeBite and Royal 2! They combine to win the round! They combine to win the game! I gotta say, that was risky. That was risky. But it works at the end of the day, and FaZe will close out the series.
Call them the policemen because they held down the police department. 2 men and a riot shield holding down PD against 3 players of Shopify, and they somehow win a 3v2 to stay alive, hold the ball, and close out the series. And I gotta say, that's quite a way to do it in convincing fashion.
Yeah, I got really worried there for a second. I was like, wait, I don't think they've quite timed this right. But the timing was perfect. They managed to throw that nade at just the right second, get the damage onto Mental. SnakeBite gets a couple of beatdowns, just swinging for the fences. And manages to come out on top. We'll take a quick look at the end of that game as well. SnakeBite rotates this ball in, and
look at the score too. They need every second here before the drop.
I think SnakeBite doesn't really have a choice, because if he tries to make the cross, he probably gets cut down by the push coming in from Rebellion. 1 second, the difference here.
Oh my,
the drop ball down, 1 picked up. RyaNoob has a nade, which I thought was going to be enough, but the slide out from Royal 2 actually takes the attention away from SnakeBite. And the craziest thing about it, Andy, both survive.
Both survive. They don't just win the 3v2, they win it and take down 3 and somehow survive the entire battle. And you gotta wonder, where was the timing push? There was 11 seconds left for Shopify. They knew that there was only 2 players alive in PD. Take your time. Mental comes in the door first, dies, then Karmea, then RyaNoob. You have to think, if Shopify times that push just a bit differently, that might end up with a different result. But my God, did FaZe play that so well. Incredible, and shout out to production team, of course, for getting that replay to see that once again, because that was a special piece of play from FaZe Clan.